You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Stugotz here. Today's episode is powered by Venmo and PayPal. Look, no matter how your favorite team did this season, there's still one way to feel like a winner, and that's with Venmo and PayPal. That's because when you use Venmo or PayPal to transfer $5 or more to your DraftKings account for the first time, you'll receive one entry into the DraftKings Big Game Millionaire DFS contest on February 11th. Just go to DraftKings.com/PayPal Venmo to activate your offer. Then choose Venmo or PayPal to transfer funds to your DraftKings account, add $5 or more, and boom, the ticket for entry into the Big Game Millionaire DFS contest will appear in your DraftKings account if you're eligible. This offer is only good through February 11th, 2024, or while supplies last. See official rules for details. What are you waiting for? Just transfer $5 or more to your DraftKings account with Venmo or PayPal, and you'll get one entry into the Big Game Millionaire DFS contest on DraftKings. Go to DraftKings.com/PayPal Venmo and go get that entry.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. 18 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. Valid one per first-time Venmo or PayPal account transfer. Valid only in states where Venmo or PayPal is a valid method of transfer. Opt-in required. Minimum $5 transfer from your Venmo or PayPal account to your DraftKings DFS account. $15 daily fantasy ticket awarded. Promo ends and ticket expires February 11th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. See terms at DraftKings.com/PayPal Venmo.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Dan is laughing at something. Dan, what are you laughing at? Dan, who are you texting?
Respond LOL.
Dan, hello. Hey, what are you laughing at?
What are you laughing at?
Who's texting you?
You got a text from your wife? What's going on over
Better
there?
respond LOL. Video.
I've never seen you look that way.
Smiling at your
glow
phone.
on your genuine happiness from you.
Are you on Bumble BFF too?
I will tell you, shameful admission, what I was laughing at. I was laughing at Larry David kicking the shit out of Elmo on a morning television
Hell yeah.
show.
That's a good answer.
It's a perfect answer.
Acceptable.
Sorry. I didn't realize that I was glowing. I didn't realize that I was radiant.
You don't typically look
Never
that
seen
way.
you look like that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So
as much joy as I've seen on your face and working here for about 3 years. It's one of life's small pleasures is when you're watching someone else do something and like they're in their own zone. And it's like you're getting a glimpse of just he's lost right now. He's just lost in his phone.
Jealous.
He's just, I know, it was nice. It was a nice moment.
It took the dark beating the shit out of a lovable character by an old curmudgeon to bring it out of me.
So Twitter this week, poor Elmo, saw really the worst sides of Twitter.
I thought that was hugely fascinating.
Also very human.
I'm at how he just asked the internet how it was doing, and what you got was a glimpse of, man, everyone is sad, hostile, broke, angry.
But at least we were sad, hostile, broken, angry together with Elmo.
We're going to get to David Samson and Adnan Virk here in a second. I have been trying to get Jeff Passan's Elmo character on the show, but it requires some negotiations that are uncomfortable. I'm afraid that Elmo, I don't know, you guys can put some pressure on Jeff Passan.
Wait, hang on. Jeff Passan had something very dangerous happen to him. Did you check in with him when that tree fell on him? Or you've just let all that time go by and you're just like, give me Elmo?
Well, I didn't know that a tree had fallen on him. Oddly enough, this is the second person at ESPN who a tree has fallen on recently. A tree has broken the house of Tony Kornheiser. He can't get it out of his house. It's been there for months.
Right. Well, this tree fell on Jeff, and it was actually a very dangerous situation, life-threatening.
If a tree falls on your friend and you don't hear it, did it really happen?
I did not hear about this. Are there details? Have you talked? Have you reached out to Jeff Passan?
I've been talking to him, and I let enough time go by to where I know Jeff enough to where I thought I could joke about it, and I could. But it was also a very serious situation. His life was in jeopardy. He's fine, right? But he's fine now.
All right, good.
He's fine now. But if
I'm okay.
Yeah, but if you want to, mend fences possibly because you put him off by not checking in on him and all you do is ask him for an Elmo impression, you should probably do that.
No wonder he's passing on the opportunity.
That's actually not that bad, Jeremy. On a day like today where I can't afford you to actually leave, you can stay for that.
I was just going to hit the loser game show sound, but Samson and Adnan Virk are preparing to join us now. Adnan Virk, his podcast, where he goes deep thespian stuff on all things film, is Cinephile. And David Samson, nothing personal. He watches a movie every day. I don't know what you guys are doing today. Where are we starting? What is today's top 5 list, Samson?
We're going to do the top 5 ever biopics.
Biopics.
Yes.
Off to a good start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Biopics.
Okay. You are you tired, David? You look like you look a little fatigued. Are you okay?
I was good 5 minutes ago when the segment was supposed to start, but I've tailed off.
Yeah. Samson from deep.
Yeah, he hates when we keep him waiting. All right. So the top 5 biopics of all time is what we're doing. All right. This is a comprehensive
Biopics.
This took some time.
Biopics.
Yes. Let's start with number 5.
Milk. I'm concerned at the audience, but stay with me. Milk is a movie starring Sean Penn about a situation in San Francisco with a politician, gay, a performance that was outstanding. Emil Hirsch, well worth your time. Even if you've never heard of the situation, you will.
Good movie. Had no desire to ever see it again. David's right. It's good performances. Sean Penn's excellent as always. But I'm shocked. As Dan said, a comprehensive list. There's been a lot of great biopics. Milk at number 5. That already smells like sour milk.
There's not one on my list that I've seen twice, because that's the purpose of a great movie like this. You only need to see it once. Number 4.
Hold on, if I may, I'm sorry. I think I ruined it, but you just made everyone in here laugh because of the way that you said a politician, comma, gay. Like the way that
it was amazing, man. Politician, gay.
If you have any other biopics on politicians that aren't gay, please say politician, straight.
David didn't want to lead with that. He was a politician, gay.
It was,
He's trying to work efficiently because we always end up leaving Adnan with 30 seconds, so he just cut right to the heart of the matter. Politician, gay.
I love you guys. I do. You got me. I didn't know how to present it to people who had not seen it or heard of Harvey Milk, and I tried to blow right past it. Dan, you did it. You did it. 1-0 you today.
Number 4.
Capote, about a writer, gay, Philip dead.
That was good. You like that one. I don't know whether it's going to be Adnan in your top 5, but surely you like that one.
Absolutely, Dan, because I'm a huge Philip Seymour Hoffman fan. I thought he was incredible in that film, really more from the character, that high voice, the tight suits, the fact he's so conniving and just profiting off these people in cold blood. Of course, the famous book, which the movie is based upon. Capote's excellent. Good choice, David.
Number 3, In the Name of the Father. True story about people who were charged with a crime in Ireland. It stars Daniel Day-Lewis, and he should have won Best Actor for this. Also, Pete Postlewaite, who you may know from The Usual Suspects, and Emma Thompson plays his attorney. An absolutely amazing true story where it's not new here, where people get put in prison for things they have not done.
Great film. Daniel Day-Lewis insisted on being in prison because he's a method actor, so he was literally in there. And I do a limited Pete Postlewaite. Don't you be lying to me when I can see the truth staring me in the face.
That's not that limited.
That's
not that limited. That's pretty good. Not limited. Congratulations. Do you do any other impersonations?
That's all I got for today. I'll give you a Capote next week.
All right. Number 2.
Number 2, The King's Speech. That's an Academy Award performance by Colin Firth on Queen Elizabeth's father, who had a problem because he couldn't speak, much like me sometimes after I try to gloss over things. And he's got a tutor who's played by Jeffrey Rush. Absolutely perfect movie. Number 2, The King's Speech.
I'm with David. I love this movie, and people kind of crushed it a little bit at the time because they said The Social Network was much more forward-thinking and aggressive and more street cred, et cetera. But I'm with David. I think King's Speech is it's old-fashioned, I suppose, in terms of its template, but I think it's funny, it's rousing, and it's powerful.
None of these are in your top 5, though, right, Adnan? You've got a different top 5? Of course.
Correct.
Number 1, David.
The number 1 biopic of all time, biopic, stars Ben Kingsley. I watched it in high school.
Sexy Beast. All right.
Sexy Beast is a great movie. And it's called Gandhi.
Wow.
This is a movie that's old, but it's about the most important person. And I want to say that and tell you that I have no caveats. To me, Mahatma Gandhi is the most important person of the 20th century.
So here's the thing.
Someone who is not studied properly. It's a movie, Candice Bergen's in it, Ben Kingsley with the performance extraordinaire, Richard Attenborough, Academy Awards, but more importantly, lessons that used to be known by people that have been completely forgotten about how to act in the face of discrimination, in the face of terrorism, in the face of racism. And Mahatma Gandhi was the shining star of that. And it is a movie that everybody should watch.
Well, listen, that's very articulate, but I don't want to conflate the fact the movie isn't as good as the person. Like the Mahatma absolutely is an icon and someone we can all aspire to be. But the movie, I mean, if any of us sat down, if Jeremy in the shipping container had to watch Gandhi right now, he's not getting through that movie. David, that's a ponderous film.
How else are they going to learn about Gandhi? They going to read a book?
The internet?
The internet.
Google
TikTok.
TikTok. That's it.
Dan's the only one who's even seen Gandhi, and I'm telling you right now, there's no way Le Batard's dialing up Gandhi.
It's ponderous.
Afternoon.
Well,
ponderous.
Nobody listening to this is going to want to watch it now. I mean, it's dated as well.
You watch it for the performance, kind of like The Revenant, in that the movie's not great, but you admire the performance at the heart of it.
Sure.
A record 3 minutes remaining for Adnan Virk to get through his top 5. Let's do it. Number 5, Adnan.
You know, I love Paul Giamatti, as does David. I'm praying he's going to win an Academy Award for The Holdovers. How about his great performance in American Splendor?
Number 5 all time.
Yeah, that's right. He played Harvey Pekar, the cartoonist, of course, great friend of Crumb. Really put Giamatti on the map as a leading actor 1 year before Sideways. American Splendor is inventive. It's got this great documentary style to it, meta style. Hope Davis is very good in it. American Splendor is a great, funny movie.
I think you only thought of that because you were going through the IMDb of Giamatti when he got nominated and you wanted him to win. Otherwise, that would not have been in your head.
I watched the Holdovers, and I know you guys have had good things to say about the movie. And you mentioned Philip Seymour Hoffman earlier, and I occasionally will watch movies, and I miss Philip Seymour Hoffman's performances so much that I imagine roles with Philip Seymour Hoffman in them to where it could actually elevate the performance. And I thought he'd be a good lead for The Holdovers, even though Giamatti seems like he's going to win an Academy Award that's eluded him for so long there. I didn't think the movie was all that good. A lot like Gandhi and The Revenant in that the performances keep you. But really the way that they shot it too made it seem so much different than it probably had credit being.
But you thought Giamatti was great, Mike.
Holdovers, do you think they said, listen, let's make it just like Gandhi?
Number 4, Walk the Line. Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon make sweet music together. Phoenix channeling Johnny Cash. And by the way, bonus points for actually singing the music. You know, Jamie Foxx wins an Oscar for Ray. Didn't sing the music. He lip synced. The fact that Joaquin Phoenix said, no, I'll tackle Ring of Fire was amazing. And Reese is incredible as June Carter Cash. James Mangold, wonderful film. Walk the Line at number 4.
1 minute.
I fell in love with Reese Witherspoon at that movie, and she's now divorced, so she's back in play. And her performance was outstanding.
Number 3 is Bugsy. David was recently crediting Annette Bening, who was fantastic in Bugsy, and I love Warren Beatty playing Bugsy Siegel. Got to get one gangster film on this list. Barry Levinson, James Toback script. I love that film. Ben Kingsley, by the way, wonderful supporting actor as Meyer Lansky. Number 2, Schindler's List. Spielberg's glorious achievement. I mean, again, across the board performances, great cinematography by Janusz Kaminski, and that score by John Williams is unforgettable. And number 1, Spielberg's crowning glorious Schindler's List. How about Martin Scorsese, who just eclipsed him on the most nominations of any living director? Number Scorsese. 1 is Raging Bull.
It's always
Jake LaMotta. It's not about the blows inside the ring. It's also about the blows outside the ring.
Director, 1 time!
Boxer, straight.
1 time!
Folks, whether you're hosting a game day, a movie night, DiGiorno knows that planning a watch party on a budget isn't easy. You need the perfect setting, the perfect squad, the perfect eats. And luckily you're a Game Time mastermind, and you know that grabbing DiGiorno Classic Crust Pizza can bring home the dub. Because it's packed with half a pound of cheese, sauce, and other toppings, and comes at an incredible price. Make the game-winning call and grab a DiGiorno Classic Crust Pizza from the grocery store today. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Dan Le Batard.
He needs a wheelbarrow like Mike McDaniel, this dog.
Got a pair?
He's got a pair. Man, does he got a pair. My granddaughter sees his schlong.
What are
says,
you talking about?
And says, "What's that?"
No, she doesn't.
No, she
There
did.
it is. There it is.
My granddaughter saw his schlong in the kitchen, and she said, "What is that?
What is this, a game of Clue?"
And I said,
What's he doing in the kitchen?
I said, "That's what he pees with."
She saw his.
Okay.
How else am I going to explain it?
Stugotz.
It was a little extended. I don't know why he was so excited.
All right, very good. No.
Can I take this out?
It is a baby.
Anyway, he ate my couch.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz.
It's time for Thursday Thunder. It's presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code DAN, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Chris Cody, what do we have for this week's edition of Thursday Thunder?
We have JuJu cooking up another one. I'd say of all of us, he's had the most success cooking these up for us. And he's a Celtics guy, so we're going Celtics-Lakers tonight. We're going Kristaps Porzingis over 19.5 points. That dude's been good this season. Jason Tatum over 8.5 rebounds. Seems like a winner. And this guy, Derek White, man, you get a haircut change, you finally come home, he's a new player. The guy looks like an all-star at times. We're going over 3.5 rebounds for Derek White. So we got Derek White over 3.5 rebounds, Jason Tatum over 8.5 rebounds, and Kristaps Porzingis over 19.5 points. JuJu cooking up that heat.
He is also cooking up new merch. If you want to see the JuJu collection, some of the new stuff that he's got, LeBatardAF.com is where you go. You mentioned the Lakers, and I mentioned in passing yesterday that in the middle of the night, middle of the morning, LeBron James put up an hourglass. You've seen the photos and the video of him staring at Darvin Ham, not happy with things. They are mediocre defensively and below average offensively.
You know, the hourglass was a tease for his DraftKings partnership.
Well, I know that now. I didn't know it at the time before he, threw the chalk up in the air to form the crown of DraftKings. But he is doing a lot of deal making in Hollywood, a lot of empire building. He has had enough success by any measure with the Lakers, even though the Lakers are something like 9-35 against the Clippers, because the Clippers have taken over basketball winning from them, but not basketball relevance from them, because even though the Clippers are a good deal better, I got to stop for a second.
I also get emotional when talking about hoops.
It really just hits you sometimes.
Boy, you're really after it.
You're really going through it.
You got this.
Come on, we're here for you.
Like, I miss LeBron as well, but
just
at least he's our teammate now.
We can't even stop when I'm having trouble breathing.
It's the good stuff, baby.
We cannot stop.
I also would be super embarrassed that I got the LeBron hourglass thing that wrong.
We really botched that one, and we're a DraftKings product.
We
were like, hey, what's he mean by that? He must hate his teammates.
Yeah, no, that's actually like the strategy.
I mean, he
Get
probably
you talking, and then powder in the shape of a DK logo.
Dan, you good?
Brian Windhorst. I don't know. I sound funny. Do I not?
You do sound funny.
Yeah, you're
Your
all right.
glasses are fogged.
You still laughing over a politician?
Did you cough
gay?
with so much ferocity that you fogged up your glasses? Is that what's happening?
Yes, that is what happened. And
it's
I'm
really
also,
unfair for us
Lucy,
to not stop down.
No, it's not.
Lucy's loving this right now.
This is what's going to happen to me in Vegas. It's going to happen during the live show.
You still don't sound right.
You guys are all going to just be laughing at me.
Mm-hmm. And we can't stop there either. So this is training for a week from now.
Whoa, how did LeBron blow the smoke, like the chalk, in the shape of the DraftKings crown?
Amazing.
Wow. That's
You have
talent.
him blowing that?
Well,
you have that. You have that being a smoke plume.
I mean, have you never seen what he does with the chalk, Dan?
That's right. Dan, when you're vulnerable, seize on someone else's mistake. Do it.
Doesn't he kind of throw it up and blow it? Like, that was the whole, like...
And Chris Cody is always there for you in that department.
Brian Windhorst mentioned the idea that LeBron might not finish with the Lakers. It's the first time that I have seen that mentioned. He has gotten everything that he wanted out of Los Angeles. All of it. Like, obviously, you'd like more winning, more championships, but the idea that he won there once, that he dedicated the last
There
part.
it is. And Dan, he won there twice. You're already forgetting the IST.
In-season tournament,
I'm
Dan.
not counting that one.
What? It's a banner.
Do you need a water?
I probably do, but better for all my producers to just laugh at me.
We'll bring
as
you
I
some
fall
help.
apart.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, here comes Amin.
Oh, that'll help.
Yeah, he's always there for you.
But it's good.
Mid segment too, never derails.
It's good timing.
You don't sound like this anymore.
I'm Dan. I know every animal's blood.
I know every animal's blood.
I mean,
Kermit the Frog in it.
LeBron James and the Lakers.
Yes.
You expect what from that team the rest of the year? You expect what from the rest of his Laker career?
How long is his Laker career going to last?
Well, I'm asking you that too.
Oh my God, what a question. We're being salacious today, folks. How long is LeBron James going to remain a Laker?
Well, he's not going to be the oldest player in the league and be 500. Like, that's not going to go without tension. He's not going to be okay with being mediocre, not being in the conversation when he's been in the conversation for 20 years, and this team doesn't look good enough to do anything.
Yeah, I think this is a weird team. I don't think they're good. I said that in the offseason when they made all these acquisitions and all this money invested. I said, these guys are not, for instance, you threw a lot of money at Gabe Vincent, who Gabe Vincent was a critical part of a Miami Heat run to the finals. Gabe Vincent also wasn't that great during the regular season. Did not shoot well.
No, got hot.
He got hot at the right time. And so, but they paid him like he's the playoff version of himself. Now
he was always good defensively.
Yes, always been good defensively. But in terms of the scoring and the shooting, the part where he looked unstoppable, like against the Knicks and stuff, that's not who he is. But he's been hurt, so it doesn't really matter. But even if he weren't hurt, I don't think he'd be what they paid him to be.
This isn't the usual passive-aggressive. And again, the Hourglass was a DraftKings promotion, and that was part of the plan to get people talking about him and then hit them with the DraftKings partner news. But if he wants to still be considered one of, if not the best piece on a possible championship team, it's either turning it around this season with the Lakers or being traded before this year's deadline. He's at an age where we don't see people perform the way that he is right now. And I wouldn't put it past him to do so next year, but every time that he does, he is establishing a new watermark for that age and the productivity. So I think it's not ridiculous to entertain him actually being someone that could be moved at the deadline if he wants to actually win another one.
I think trading LeBron is the ultimate, you can't win situation. Especially trading LeBron when he has an option on next year is even bigger. No one's going to want to give up anything because you have no idea. This guy's starting to.
No one's going to want to give up anything for a major draw for half a season. Look, no one's going to want to give up anything for half a season of just the commerce of I get to see LeBron
about an untradeable piece, someone that's not even allowed to be in trade discussions, someone that is, quote, untouchable, like Duncan Robinson.
Dan, we're not talking about the Charlotte Hornets acquiring him. We'll do it for the ticket sales or the Atlanta Hawks. We're talking about a team that gives him an opportunity to win. And so when we look at those teams, like the Knicks, the Heat,
it scares me. Him going to the Knicks.
Does it scare you?
It scares me because they're good enough, and they need someone just like him that'll make Jalen Brunson clearly the second best player. I think they go through in the East if they make that acquisition. I sincerely hope they don't.
What's the give if you're the Knicks, right? What's the give?
I don't really know what they give up to get him. Probably find a way to get out of Julius Randle's contract to make them match up. But I think also for LeBron, you did it in Cleveland, won there, meant the world. You did it in Miami as the villain. You did it in Los Angeles. Can you imagine? He already has this really super complicated legacy because we usually see people do it all in one or two uniforms. If he goes ahead and does one in New York, again, altering the math, where one title to that market means the world, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We know that's, the only other place I could say where you could do that and it would blow everyone's mind is the Clippers. Right? We talked about this years ago when Kobe was a free agent. It's you want to really piss everybody off, go to the Clippers. Go there and win.
God, the NBA is dying for him to go to the Knicks. Can you imagine?
I in a weird way, I don't want that to happen because I want the Knicks to see this thing out. They're on the right path. Just don't nick it up don't nick it up by trying shortcut. Let's do it this way.
Do you think acquiring a 39-year-old LeBron James is
crazy? What
nicking
he's
it
saying,
up?
what you're saying is crazy to me.
Like he's so really good.
You cannot be saying with a straight face that the Knicks have arrived in a position where they can decline. Hey, we don't want or need LeBron James. Why, Chris Cody, couldn't you finish the segment 2 more minutes as Amin's chair?
He lost his legs from power walking.
Yeah, it was all that walking earlier, Dan.
I feel him clenching.
I don't think you're going to like that the entire international audience sees that you have Reebok brand underwear.
Yeah,
I don't believe
he took that break to fix it because it's gone now. Dangerous game.
The funniest part was he comes up to me and he whispers, and then he just goes under the table like, "Whoa, what's happening here?" The audio audience.
Well, you were on your knees. Why were you on your knees doing the segment?
Why was I on my knees?
Why didn't you bring a chair in here in the middle of the segment?
Relief. He was there to help you out, man.
Like, I got on the mic immediately. Did you want me to stop, pause, walk around the table, grab? No, you're welcome, Dan Le Batard.
You know what? That is the wrong reaction. Get me the sound of Bomani choking during a segment the way that I was. He hates that sound, says Chris Cody as the chair. He really
does.
Okay, but I mean, it just happened to me, and I'm using the context of I was saying help me in some form, and what I get is Amin comes in here and is on his knees, and then Chris is a chair for Amin. The idea that LeBron James would be available the second half of the season, I mean, is a bit crazy to me. And yet, I don't think it's ridiculous. I don't think it's ridiculous for the Lakers to be in a tough spot with this because their team's not very good.
If you're the Lakers, you have to ride it till the wheels fall off. You cannot. Unless he comes into your office and says, "Get me out of here," you cannot entertain even for a second trading him.
But what he's going to come into the office and say is, "Get me more pieces," right?
That's a different story. And maybe Anthony Davis is that name.
Do you agree with Stugotz that LeBron is a looter and a riot?
At this point, yeah, they're not good.
What?
Welcome back to The Right Time. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Excuse me. Help me. Oh.
Welcome back to The Right Time with Bomani Jones here. We're going to be joined by Brian Windhorst, our insider at ESPN, here very shortly.
I'm good. Something got caught down my throat. Sorry about that, Brian. In the meantime,
Dan Le Batard.
All of us who were watching college football elevated everything the weekend was because we missed football in general so very much.
You didn't watch the ending of UTEP Jacksonville State. It was awesome.
A dizzy.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Stugotz.
It's such a lane for you. Just everything in college football is awesome. Any single thing that happens, she gets deliriously happy about.
Don't you miss viewing sports through that prism, though? Like, I'm envious of Lucy. Like, I wish that I could still be happy.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I assume this happens in Florida more than it does in other places. You come out at night, you turn on some lights in your home, and you see a cockroach scatter and come out when the lights are on. That is my introduction for Mike Schur. As soon as the Miami Heat lose 7 games, what happens? Look who reemerges with that beautiful head of hair, Mike Schur, to write on behalf of the program. One of the most esteemed writers anywhere in television history has decided to do a January observations. Did the Heat win a game in January? Did they win any games in January? Because Mike Schur, I'm assuming you're here only because the Miami Heat lost 7 in a row?
That's not true. I'm here because I've made some observations about Meadowlark Media and the month you had in January. It's February 1st. It's the appropriate time to give you those observations, and here I am. That has nothing to do with the Miami Heat.
I just don't remember December observations. I don't remember November observations. I don't remember October or September observations. But here we go. Are we ready? Are we ready to do this? January observations from Mike Schur?
I mean, relatively.
It's very popular.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it when he does this because he just roasts all of us. Look at him. Look how stoic he is because he knows he's got it all lined up. He's using his greatest gift, his greatest tool to samurai sword us. Go ahead.
I don't get the intro anymore?
No, not anymore. I searched for it. That's why I said relatively.
Mike Schur's observations.
Well done.
Wait a minute. Go get it more from the loins. Hold on a second. Let's try it again.
You are listening to Mike Schur's weekend observations from January.
That's just Joe Tessitore.
You are listening live to Mike Schur talk about things from January.
January Observations is brought to you by Tony's Things to Ponder file. Do you like Tony's NFL Top 5 but think it contains a little too much insight and is a little too interesting? Try Tony's Things to Ponder file. Dan. They had a championship pedigree. But after a rocky start this year, we wrote them off. They seem to have lost a step. Maybe the league had caught up to them. Maybe their roster was getting old. But then, just like always, they flipped that switch. And Dan, just like that, make no mistake about it, the Tampa Bay Lightning are back.
Yeah, they're terrifying.
8 of their last 9.
They're haunting.
The Miami Heat are better without Tyler Hero. It's just a shame Miami never made him available in trade talks. The Miami Heat are better without Terry Rozier, which is kind of a problem because they just traded for Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier, negative 72 in his first 114 minutes for the Heat.
Ouch.
Scary. Hey, the Heat won last night. Congrats, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Scary Terry chipping in with a hard-earned 3 points in his 30 minutes on the floor. On the left is Dame Lillard. On the right is Terry Rozier. They look pretty similar. Okay, guys. Yeah, great. Good work. You traded for prime Dame Lillard. Good job. Victor Wembanyama last night. 21 and 8, 6 blocks, 2 steals, 2 of 5 from 3 in 30 minutes. Or as Mike Ryan would call it, The SEC just filed charges against 3 people who stole $1.9 billion in a fraudulent crypto scheme. You'll never guess where one of them lives.
I'm surprised all 3 of them don't live here.
Yeah, it's Miami. That's what you did guess.
Only one.
Yeah,
of
good
them?
work by you.
Only one of them? That's an upset. I would have absolutely.
Yeah.
I would have absolutely guessed. 4 of them were in Miami. 4 of the 3.
$1.9 billion. That's the most money someone from Miami has stolen since Eric Spoelstra signed his extension.
I thought you'd go Samson there.
I almost went Robinson.
Oh.
Yeah, you take your pick. Coach Spo. Bubble fraud.
Oh, come on.
What happened there? What happened? The Angelos family bought the Baltimore Orioles for $173 million and are reportedly selling them for $1.73 billion. Someone please reassure a no doubt worried David Samson that after all those terrible, sad years of losing money, the Angelos family is finally going to eke out a profit.
Put it on the poll, JuJu. Does asbestos pay? Because I'm pretty sure that's where the Angelos fortune comes from.
Speaking of David Samson, how many times do we have to hear the story of him pooping in the military guy's house during a marathon?
I thought it was only 2. I thought yesterday was only the second time.
He said it's its most shameful moment. He's talked about it on the show, I swear, like 6 times.
We do a live show. Can't remember everything.
Taxes. And David Samson telling the story about pooping in the military guy's house. According to the Heat front office, Duncan Robinson is absolutely untouchable in trades, which in Miami front office speak means they have offered him to literally everyone. You know what the A in Duncan stands for, Dan?
Available?
That's right. It stands for available to anyone who will take him. Well done. Good job by you.
I'm on my game.
The Miami Heat Lost 7 in a row. Offense is a mess. Defense is a mess, which is going to make it all the more incredible when they reach the Eastern Conference Finals. Tua Tagovailoa, do it in the playoffs. Tyreek Hill, do it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, do it in the Super Bowl. And then do it in the Super Bowl 2 more times. And then do it in the Super Bowl again. And you'll have done it in the Super Bowl nearly as many times as Tom Brady. Here come the Pelicans. Devin Booker, 60 burger. Giannis, 50 burger and 60 burger. Karl Anthony Towns, the rare 60 burger with a side of L. Joel Embiid, 70 burger. Luka, 73 burger. The NBA isn't a league anymore. It's a damn Wendy's. You know what the B in NBA stands for, Dan?
Burgers.
It stands for burger. That's a good job by you.
2 for 2.
Watch out for the 49ers.
What?
Wait a minute.
Yeah. If the season ended today, they'd be in the Super Bowl.
They're favored. It's not how the watch out works. That's not how it works.
It's exactly how the watch out works. Dan, this week Stugotz had an all-timer. He called the legendary coach of Liverpool FC, Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen. Like the hand lotion.
That's right.
Yet amazingly, that does not crack the list of worst name mispronunciations in show history. Top 5 wrong names in show history.
Wow, going into the historic data bank. All right.
OLI. Jurgen Klopp. Number 5. James Mulvaney. Number 4. Amin Hassan. Sorry. Hassan, rather. Hassan. Sorry to mess up your name, Amin. You know I got love and respect for you.
Inside joke between me and Stephen A.
Number 3. Afrini Hardaway.
Tony never lived that one down.
That's number 3.
Number 3.
Tony calling Anthony Hardaway seriously, reading off the computer. Afrini. Number 3.
And then trying to cover it by just naming 8 other guys who were on that team. Just blowing through, just pounding through it, just tweeting through it as fast as he could. Number 2. Amino acid.
Inside joke between me and the Godfather.
Yeah.
And the number 1 mispronunciation of a name on the show's history, 80.
Yeah, Lucy, he saw Bo. Stugotz saw Bo on a call screener and said 80.
We'll go out. Let's go out to 80.
Let's go out to 80 on a mobile.
And Billy, that's Bo.
Blink 192 didn't even make a lie.
Yeah. How amazing.
It's my list. You have your list, I have my
James
list.
Mulvaney represents where I see the descent of my life. It's calling John Mulaney James Mulvaney while holding a turkey stick.
That was a watershed for you. There's like a before and after of your competence, and it's James Mulvaney.
Yep.
Dan, keep an eye on the Edmonton Oilers. Great on the forecheck.
Yep.
Great coaching, experienced guard play. Don't be surprised if the Edmonton Oilers find themselves in the Elite 8.
Yes.
The Oilers. Leon Draisaitl and them boys. Making a run, Dano. There's my audition to be a guest on Roy's new hockey segment.
It's a great comedic name. Roy's in Toronto. We don't know if we're going to get a hockey show, but he's in Toronto on Meadowlark's dime. Maybe we'll have a hockey show. I don't know. Yes,
I can fill in.
Yeah.
Talk about Leon Draisaitl and them boys. Folks, I believe everyone should do whatever makes them happy. I believe in free speech. Much like the great Boston sports fan Dana White. He's a personal hero of mine. However, if you get offended when someone holds your college logo upside down or replaces the word up with the word down in your college slogan, you are a child and you should rethink your entire life and all of the choices you have made that have gotten you to this point.
Where'd you go? Harvard?
Inter Miami lost their first 3 preseason friendlies with Messi and Luis Suarez. Inter Miami. The Miami is strong in you. Dan Batard had a couple hours to spare recently, so he decided to take his wife to a Quiet Riot concert. What the hell was he thinking? I know what Valerie was thinking. She was thinking, I'm in hell. And speaking of hell, Art Briles. Dan, those are the January observations.
We always appreciate that you do that. Stugotz, by the way, read the internet wrong because he told me that Quiet Riot's lead singer was 52.
No chance.
He was in 2007 when he died. So I suppose maybe he's still 52 if we stop counting at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, he stopped right at 52, I guess. Yeah.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.